my assessment says that today and probably the next one is going to be the last class, because you'll be almost done with the entire coursework that we have. In the next class, I will inshallah also guide you a little bit on what direction you can take post this course. Of course, this is a fundamental course, and it's a good course to just get the feeler of what it is like to learn the language of the Quran. Okay, so you've done quite a good progress, mashallah. And I'll show you, inshallah, in the next class how far you are. So this class is a lot dependent on what we did in the previous class. So we did the past tense fi'ls in the previous class, and my hope is that you found some time, because I know it was Eid, you found some time to just go through things, and you are comfortable with the past tense chart. Any one of you, do you want me to go through the past tense chart once more in this class, just for all of us to be aligned on the same page? Is that all right? I'll just briefly go through the past tense chart, inshallah, and just revise it very quickly. And my hope is that you are able to then produce those past tense, 14 past tenses, based on your memory and understanding of the chart, inshallah. Okay, so once you're done with that past tense stuff, we need to move forward to the next phase, which will again be similar to the past tense, but little different as well. Okay, so let me go through the past tense chart first, inshallah. Okay, so in the past tense we studied, just a very quick summary on the fi'ls, if for the benefit of all of us, so we are all on the same page. So we started the study of fi'ls. We said there are two main types of fi'ls. There's a past tense fi'ls, and then there's a present / future tense fi'ls in Arabic. That's what we said. We said the fi'l of Arabic is different from the verb of English, because the fi'l of Arabic has the action, it has the tense, meaning time, and it has the doer inside it. It has its doer inside it. But the verb of English does not have a doer inside it. That's what we said, right? And then we moved on to the past tense fi'l. So in the past tense, we said that you have to look into the ending of the fi'l, basically. And we constructed this entire chart. I believe I have it here. You used the template word noon, sod, and ra, and we constructed this entire chart together, right? So huwa, huma, hum. Pronouns are fundamentals. They need to be very strong. You need to know pronouns, right? So, and based on each pronoun, we constructed the form of a past tense, and we looked at the endings. Okay, so and we understood how they are different from each other. So huwa is nasara, then huma gets the stretch a little bit, nasara, and then hum gets the u ending, and so on, right? So huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru, hiya nasarat, huma nasarata, hunna nasarna, anta nasarta, antuma nasartuma, antum nasartum, anti nasarti, antuma nasartuma, antunna nasartunna, ana nasartu, nahnu nasarna. Now, in these six, we learned a trick. We said, okay, so every pronoun has hamza, nun, and ta. Anth is always there. So what we are basically doing is we're basically replacing the un part, the first un part, with the nun, sod, and ra. Let's say taking it from the hunna. So you just take it from the hunna, nasar, and you just replace the un part with it. So anta becomes nasar, and you keep the ta the way it is. That's the trick we just did, just for the sake of remembrance of how this is constructed. So in this case, you replace the an with nasar, it becomes nasartuma. You replace antum, an with nasar, it becomes nasartum, and so on and so forth. right? We also did few practice exercises in our, I believe, notes, if you remember. Yeah, we did that. And there are a few special cases. Uh, so case like allamtumuna. So we learned that this particular vowel is added for smoothness purposes. So when you have antum ending, like allamtum, nasartum, and so on, and you want to attach a pronoun to it, so you basically introduce a vowel for smoothness purposes. Okay, otherwise it is like a hiccup. Allamtumna is different from allamtumuna, so it's for the rhyme purposes and so on. So that's a tradition in the Arabic language. Okay, so that's one exception we learned, right? And we learned about, of course, the whole process of attaching the pronouns to the fails. So ignoring the pronoun that is attached, translating the fail in itself, then translating a pronoun, and then bringing it all together. All of that process we learned in the last class, okay? And I gave you loads and loads of exercises to do on your own. So if you have done it, absolutely fantastic. If you have not done it, please do it whenever you find time. It will only help you. If you have any questions in it, ask. Okay, so you can ask the questions, and inshallah, we take it from there. Right? That's what we did in the last class. So I'm assuming that you are all are comfortable with that. Is that assumption correct? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Can I move forward from this point on? Good. Excellent. Very good. So now what we are going to do is we are going to move into the world of present tense. Present tense. Okay. Um, present tense chart. Okay. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to use the same three letters that we used previously, but we're going to, of course, change the fi'ls. The fi'ls are different in present tense. So present tense, as I said last time, present tense is used for present and future in Arabic. And sometimes the future is very explicitly done by attaching some hurufs. Sometimes it is more contextual. So when you interpret the ayahs, you identify if it is future or is it present. Right? So we're going to stick with the same 14 pronouns and we are going to construct the present tense. Now, there are a few things about present tense. In the present tense, you have to look at the beginning and the ending. Beginning and the ending. Whereas the past tense was just the ending. The present tense makes it little more kind of initially challenging because you have to look at both sides, the beginning and the ending, because that differentiates, that helps it differentiate from the past tense. So you have to look at it from the beginning, beginning and the ending, right? Okay, so all the rules that I said apply similarly to the present tense. So they also have an inside doer. Every pronoun is inside it, and so on and so forth. Nothing changes there. So you still have the same story, but it's just that you have the ending and which is there, but you also have the beginning that is added to it. So let's start with the Hua version. So in the Hua version, what you do is you had Nasara, right? So you had this was the past tense. This was the past tense, Nasara, right? So what present tense does, present tense has to have a beginning, and that beginning is either Hamza, Noon, Ta, or Ya. Okay? So if you know this word in English, auntie, you may have many aunties, of course, of your own. If you remember auntie, that will help you remember this. Okay? So Hamza, Noon, Ta, and Ya. Right? So these are the beginnings of present tense, nothing else. It will always begin with one of these four. Okay? And over time, we will learn Which ones is which? Okay, so when you talk about the Hua version, the Hua version starts with a ya. So the Hua version starts with a ya. So let me write it down here and see what changes. It starts with a ya with a fatha on it. Now, the the beginning of the present tense only takes a fatha or a dhamma. It will never take a kasra. It's never going to be yi. Okay, fatha or the dhamma in the beginning of the present tense. Kasra never comes. Okay, so just two harakas. So this ya in some fi'ls it would be you. In this particular fi'l it is ya. Okay, and it brings the sukoon on the next letter. Okay, brings the sukoon on the next letter. That's the beginning you're talking about. The remaining fi'l changes to like this with the dhammas. Yansuru. Okay? So huwa yansuru. The past tense was nasara, and the present tense becomes yansuru. So what you're looking at is u ending and ya beginning. That's what you're looking at. Okay? Yansuru. Huwa yansuru. Now these middle letters, middle harakas can be different for different types of fi'ls. And you will only learn that with your practice and experience. So do not worry about this, that if it's always going to be like this, the middle thing, the middle haraka, this one can change. It can be kasra, it can be fatha, it can be dhamma. And if you go further in your studies and study the sarf, the morphology, then you will learn all of that. Okay, so there are few tribes of fi'ls. You will be able to detect, okay, this fi'l belongs to this clan, okay, this tribe, and this tribe had a fatha in the middle or a kasra in the middle, and things like that, right? So that's the study of morphology. That's later. Right now, don't worry about the middle haraka. So I will tell you whatever the middle haraka is. What you're worried about is the beginning and the ending. So whenever you find a ya beginning and u ending, you're looking at the present tense fi'l. Okay, so huwa yansuru. Now I'm going to give you the ones which are similar first. So you can, in your mind, make a set out of it. Okay, these are the similar ones. So just like huwa yansuru, here is very similar. Here says, okay, I'm going to take the yansuru exactly the way it is. But because I'm feminine, I'm going to start with the ta. Because the ta is a representative of feminine in Arabic world in many occasions. Okay, so huwa yansuru, here tansuru. No other difference. So when you find the fi'l, you're looking at this. Just by the beginning, you're telling if it is a masculine or a feminine. Okay, huwa yansuru, here tansuru. Clear so far? Understandable? Any questions? Any confusions? Good. There is no other way for me to teach it. This is how you teach this, okay? And there is no other way for you to learn this. This is how you learn this. So you ultimately have to install this in your chart, in your mind, and it will get installed, inshallah. You have good brains. So it will get there, inshallah. Okay? So if you don't feel overwhelmed if you are, just in case. So huwa yansuru, here tansuru. Okay. Now what anta does, anta says, okay, I want to copy exactly what here is, and I'm going to stay the same like here. Okay, so they both are exactly the same. Huwa yansuru, hiya tansuru, anta tansuru. Now, how do we differentiate? Well, the context is going to tell us. Okay, so when we are reading and decoding the Quran, and we do a few examples, inshallah. So the context is going to tell you what is it, because there are few characteristics of here that do not exist in anta. Okay, and those characteristics are not inside the fi'l, they're actually outside the fi'l, and that's the next topic, inshallah, we will do once we're done with the chart. Okay, right? So huwa, hiya, anta same. So if you know huwa, you can derive here by replacing the ta. If you know here, you can just copy and paste it to anta because it's going to be the same. Okay. Now, anti is different, so I'm going to leave that. Okay. So ana says, I really like this pattern of yansuru, tansuru, tansuru. I also want to have the same pattern, but ya is taken and ta is taken. I want to be different. So what Ana does, Ana says, hey, because I start with a Hamza, why don't I start with a Hamza in my fi'l too? Ansuru, right? So Ana starts with Ansuru, right? So huwa yansuru, hiya tansuru, anta tansuru, ana ansuru. So you can remember Ana starts with a Hamza, therefore its present tense fi'l starts with a Hamza too, right? That's what Ana does. And the final one that is on the similar pattern is the Nahnu. Nahnu says, Ana, I really liked your approach as a first person. I really like the way you changed yourself. I mean, they had the ya and the ta in the beginning, and you said, okay, I'm starting with a Hamza, and you put the Hamza in the beginning. I'm going to do the same, right? So what Nahnu does, Nahnu says, okay, I start with a noon. So what am I going to do? I'm going to start with noon. Nansuru. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, these 5 fi'ls are similar in pattern. Okay. So once you know one of them, let's say you know huwa, there is a way to derive the others. So huwa yansuru, and then here replace the ya with the ta, it's tansuru. Then anta is a copy paste of here, again tansuru. Then ana starts with a hamza, so ansuru. And nahnu starts with the noon, so nansuru. Okay. So when I'm asking you, give me the 5 fi'ls. I want the 5 fi'ls. So you're saying yansuru, tansuru, tansuru, ansuru, nansuru. Yansuru, tansuru, tansuru, ansuru, nansuru. Yansuru, tansuru, tansuru, ansuru, nansuru. That's what you're doing, all right? So with the 5 fi'ls, that's how you're producing it. Because in your mind, you know, huwa yansuru, hiya tansuru, anta tansuru, ana ansuru, nahnu nansuru. Clear so far? Very good. So I will give you 1 minute. Just practice these 5. Say out loud yourselves or unmute whatever you want. So just say out loud a few times these 5 fi'ls, and then we take it from there, inshallah. Okay? Just drill them in your mind. 1 minute. Okay. I think it's done. Good. So accordingly, of course, the way it is operate, the way present tense is, the meanings of the present tense change too. So he's going to be huwa yansuru, he helps. Hiya tansuru, she helps. Anta tansuru, you help. Ana ansuru, I help. And nahnu nansuru, we help. Present tense. Okay, so I'm going to mark this one. Let's color code them a little bit so it's easier for you to remember. So let's say the green ones are a set. So this is a set, this is a set, this is a set, and this is a set. Okay, so here's your set of 5 fails. So when I say 5 fails, these are the 5 fails. Okay, good. Now let's move on to another set. Okay, so we started with Hua. Let me take you to Hum. First, before I do the Huma and all of that stuff, so I'm going to give you that in sets so it's easier for you to visualize in your mind and retain, inshallah. Okay, so I'm just trying to build some logic for you to do less of a rote memorization. Okay, so let's start with Hum. Now, what Hum says, Hua, I really love your pattern. So I really love the fact that you are Yansuru. So I really like it. So I'm going to take it. Okay. So I'm going to take it like this. Okay. But the problem is you are singular and I'm plural. And I need to differentiate from you. So I also start with a ya. I also end with a u right now. It's not going to work because nobody's going to know I'm a plural. So how should I find a plural ending? So what Hum does, Hum says, hey, I have a very good friend. It's a Muslim, right? And Muslim has its own Muslim chart. Okay, and let me ask him. So he goes to the Muslim and says, Muslim, do you have a spare ending for the plural? Muslim says, well, I have a Muslimuna ending. I mean, I don't mind if you copy it. That's fine. So what Hum does, it takes the una ending from the Muslim chart. Okay, takes the una ending from the Muslim chart, so it becomes Yansuruna. Where's the noon? Okay. Yansuruna. So you're talking about the una ending just like the Muslim chart. Just like the Muslim chart, borrowed from the Muslim chart. And you're talking about the ya beginning, borrowed from the hua. Okay? So it starts with hua, yansuru, and it attaches an una ending from the ending combination world, just copies it from there, and then becomes yansuruna. So when you're saying hua yansuru, he helps. Hum yansuruna, they help. They help. Okay? Now, as soon as the hum does that, hum says, it's a good idea. What I've done is amazing. It's very unique. I'm so creative. Let me share with my cousin Antum. Okay? So I have a cousin in second person who's my counterpart. I want to share that with him. So Antum says, hey, hum, I really like your structure. Okay, so I want to copy this. So please, can you give that to me too? But the problem is, we both look the same. I want to differentiate. I want to differentiate. So Hum says, okay, fine. You have few options. You can choose a ya, you can choose a ta, you can choose a hamza, you can choose a noon. Then Antum says, okay, fine. Anta actually chose a ta. He's my singular cousin. So I'm going to choose a ta as well. Tansuru. Oh my God, keyboard. Tansuru. I'm going to choose a ta as well. So hum yansuruna, antum tansuruna. The only difference is the beginning. Hum yansuruna, antum tansuruna. That's the only difference. Okay. So here's your second set. So let's make them blue. Okay. Okay. So if I ask you the 5 fails, you're telling me huwa yansuru, hiya tansuru, anta tansuru, ana ansuru, nahnu nansuru. When I'm asking you, tell me the 2 plurals in masculine, you're saying hum yansuruna, antum tansuruna. So if you know hum yansuruna, you can deduce antum tansuruna just by replacing the beginning. Okay? Good. Similar thing with hunna. Let's do hunna. Okay, so and then I'll give you 1 more minute to just grasp everything together, inshallah. Okay, So hunna, what hunna does? Hunna says, yansuru, I really like your pattern too, so I'm gonna take it. So it takes yansuru and puts it here. Okay. Now the problem hunna has is, of course, hunna is feminine. Hunna is feminine and it's not a singular, so it just cannot look like hua. Okay. So what hunna does, and hunna is very proud of the noon it has. It has two noons. I have two noons, right? Nobody else has two noons. I have two noons. Only my cousin Antunna has two noons. So what hunna does, hunna says, I'm going to stay the same like hua all the way to sod. Then I'm going to give my one noon, a copy of my one noon to this as an ending, okay, with a fatha. I have many noons, so I give one to this fi'l, okay, as an ending. And because I gave this, I'm also going to differentiate on the ra. I'm going to put the sukoon there, okay? So it becomes hunna yan surna. Hunna yan surna. Mind it, it's hunna, it's feminine, it does not start with a ta, okay? Although it's feminine, there is no ta here, okay? It's not a mandatory rule that a feminine has to have a ta, okay? So in this case, it does not start with a ta, okay? So hunna yansurna. Hunna yansurna. And from there on, same story goes. So hunna has a counterpart cousin, antunna. Antunna really likes hunna's structure, wants to copy it, but to differentiate, it changes the beginning to ta. Tansurna. Antunna, tansurna. Okay? So here's your another set. Set number 3. There's no pink. I'll choose pink because it's feminine. Let's say pink. Okay, cool. So this is pink and this is pink. All right. Okay. So huwa yansuru, hiya tansuru, anta tansuru, ana ansuru, nahnu nansuru. Hum yansuruna, antum tansuruna. Hunna yansurna, antunna tansurna. Okay? Take 1 minute, install it in yourselves. Okay? 1 minute. Try it. Okay? Very good. Give me thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you're feeling right now. How is it going? Very good. You are good students, mashallah. Good. Okay. Very good. So as far as you understand this pattern, you don't really have to memorize this chart. I mean, it really you can deduce it. Okay, but the challenge is you have to pick it up in your mind off and on. So when you see it in the Quran, you have to immediately map it. Okay, where does it belong to the chart in the chart? Right? That's the mapping you need to establish. Okay, and you should be able to produce this chart with your own mind for any fail. Okay. Right, let's go to Huma. Now, Huma, feminine, I'm talking about. But first, let me just do the translation of this. Hunna yansurna is they help, and Antunna tansurna is you all help. Antum Tansuruna is you all help as well. Okay. Now let's go here. Okay. Huma. Now Huma says, that's all good. I really like the way things are going. So because I'm closer to here, here is one and I'm two, I'm gonna take inspiration from here. Okay. So Huma picks up here and Huma says, Tansuru. Okay. So, okay, this is how I copy here. So I have the similar beginning, like here. Okay, but I still need to differentiate in the ending. Otherwise, I look exactly the same. And there are already 5 fields that look like this. Similar. And Anta looks exactly like here, right? So I just can't be like that, right? I need to find some differentiation. So it starts to look into Hunna. It finds Hunna's method was too complex. Can I find something easier? So it goes to Hum. And Hum says, yeah, I just went to the Muslim and he gave me a ending, which was the Una ending. So I attached it. I mean, that Huma finds quite convincing. So it goes to the Muslim chart, right? Say, Muslim chart, do you have a dual ending with you? A dual pair ending? Muslim chart says, yeah, I have an Ani ending. You can copy it, no problem. Okay, you can copy the Ani ending because you're also two, right? So you can copy that. So Huma takes that ending from the Muslim chart and puts it like this. And it becomes Tansuruani. And Huma said, there's something not fitting right. Right? Tansuruani doesn't work. It's not smooth. It's not really going. There's a hiccup in there. So I'm gonna change the last haraka on my ra to be, oops, to be a again fatha. Fatha. Tansurani. So I'm looking at the ani ending with Huma. Okay. Huma Tansurani. Now notice in this feminine row, only here and Huma start with the. Okay. All the others that we have done so far start with ya. So don't confuse that. Students do confuse them because somewhere in your mind you have a ta for feminine, and you tend to confuse this row with the ta beginnings. Not all of them are ta beginnings. Okay, this ya is not ta beginning, of course. Okay, so Huma takes Tansurani, and this pattern becomes so popular, it goes viral. Okay, Antuma says, I'm going to use this. Antuma says, I'm going to use this. So they all take the same pattern. Okay? They all look the same, exactly the same, no change. It super goes viral completely. Okay? So Antuma masculine is same, Antuma feminine is same. What would differentiate? Context. We will know from context what is masculine and what is feminine. Okay? So from the translation perspective, so they both help. You both help. You both help feminine. Okay? Let's find another color for them. So let's say we'll go with orange. Okay. Orange. This is another, not this one. Okay. Sorry. This orange and this is orange. Okay. Huma tansurani, antuma tansurani, antuma tansurani. Okay. Now, you're identifying the sets in the chart. So this visual identification will help you, inshallah. Okay, just keep that chart in your mind, an image. I'll share this image on WhatsApp with you. I'll take a screenshot and share it with you on WhatsApp for your records, inshallah. This will help you. Okay. Right. Now these last two are remaining. Homa masculine and Anti feminine. Now Homa masculine, he had lots of pride Say, okay, huma, antuma, and antuma, you all look the same. I must look different. Okay. I like your structure. I really like your structure, but I just can't look like you. I'm little too proud to be same with you guys. Okay. So I need to find a way to be different. So he said, okay, he looks at hua, and then he looks at hum. Say, hey, they both start with ya. Why don't I just take a ya in the beginning? Right? So I just take a ya in the beginning. Yeah. And I just keep everything the same. So it becomes huma yansurani. So this entire row column has an ani ending. The only one that starts with a ya is huma masculine. Everything else starts with a ta with the same ani ending. Okay. Now notice this, that in the first six, which is the third person, only two starts with ta. Hiya and huma. Everything else starts with ya. Okay. Huwa yansuru, huma yansurani, hum yansuruna, hiya tansuru, huma tansurani, hunna yansurna. Okay. Yansurna. Okay. And then it's anti. Now anti says, okay, I know almost every choice is taken. I just can't look the same like huwa, hiya, anta, ana, and nahnu. I have to be different. That's the dress they have already wore, so I need a new one. So I need to find a way to be different. So it goes to these three cousins. Say, hey, Tansuranis, can I borrow your pattern? Say, yeah, of course, borrow your pattern, but we don't really want you to copy us. Just find some difference. So it just first borrows the pattern. It starts with a tha and has an ani ending. And then it says, okay, how should I differentiate? Because they don't want me to be the same. So it goes to the Muslim chart. They say, hey, Muslim chart, do you have any ending that I could borrow? Because hum came to you, borrowed una, and huma, antuma came to you, borrow ani. Can you give me one, please? Say, yeah, I have a nasab or jar ending in the plural that is spare. You can take it. Okay, so although it's a plural ending, you can use it for singular, no problem. So what anti does, it picks up the ending, which is the ina ending, and attaches like this. And because of that, changes the ra to kasra. Tansurina. It borrows that ending from the Muslim chart. Anti tansurina. And here is your present tense chart. Okay, so from the translation standpoint, they both help and you help. Okay. Now you notice that in this entire row, in these two rows, the second person, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, all of them starts with ta. All of them starts with ta. Okay. In the first six, most of them starts with ya, only two starts with ta. Okay. Hiya and huma. And the last two, they start with the beginning letter of the pronoun. Okay. Ana and nahnu. Hamza and nun. Okay. So what your job is? Your job is to be able to say huwa yansuru, huma yansurani, hum yansuruna, hiya tansuru, huma tansurani, hunna yansurna, anta tansuru, antuma tansurani, antum tansuruna, anti tansurina, antuma tansurani, antunna tansurna, ana ansuru, nahnu nansuru. That's your job. Okay. Right now, that's what you need to achieve. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute. Absorb this. Say it out a few times to yourselves. Okay, and try to firm it up, and then we'll go forward, inshallah. 2 minutes. Okay. Now I have to ask this question: is there any volunteer who wants to say it out without looking? Volunteer one, volunteer two, volunteer three, volunteer four, volunteer five. Okay, there's no volunteer. That's fine. That's fine. So form it up on your own time. Okay. So what we need to achieve is the following. So you of course are able to say the Nasara chart, this Yansuru chart completely. Okay. So but you are also able to produce it for any other field. Okay. So let's say if I say, if I give you yakfuru, if I give you yakfuru, now this yakfuru thing, this word maps to the hua form. So I'm going to give you the hua form. Okay. So hua is the most standard form. So the default form, you can call it. Right. So yakfuru. So based on this hua form, you should be able to produce the entire chart. If I tell you which are the 5 fi'ls, you're saying huwa yakfuru, hiya takfuru, anta takfuru, ana akfuru, nahnu nakfuru. Can you give me the home version? Yes. Hum yakfuruna, antum takfuruna. Can you give me hunna versions? Yes. Hunna yakfurna, antunna takfurna. Like yansurna and tansurna. Can you give me huma versions, feminine, and also the masculine and feminine in antuma? Yes, it's takfurani, takfurani, takfurani. Huma masculine is yansurani, so it's going to be yakfurani. Anti is going to be tansurina is going to be takfurina. So you're giving me huwa yakfuru, huma yakfurani, hum yakfuruna, hiya takfuru, huma takfurani, hunna yakfurna. Anta anta takfuru, antuma takfurani, antum takfuruna, anti takfurina, antuma takfurani, antunna takfurna, ana akfuru, nahnu nakfuru. That's what you are doing. Okay. For every fail that we are identifying, so you are trying to produce this entire chart with this logic. Okay, that's your objective to achieve by the next class. Okay, deal? Is that a deal? I know in the first class it's tougher. Yes, goody good. That's the only way, guys. I'm sorry. That's the only way to learn the present tense chart. So I can't make it much easier. Okay, and it's not difficult. It's actually the concept is not difficult. It's a little too much to retain. It's the memorization bit that actually, I mean, scares people, right? So, inshallah, you will do this. Okay, so it will become second nature to you. Now, if you go in your notes. So where was it? Where was it? Okay, so on page number 39, you have this chart already. Okay, that's the full chart that we have done. So in a typical classroom, an ustad will come and ustad would just say, okay, yansuru, yansurani, yakfur, yansurullah, tansuru, tansurani, yansurna, and so on. And they will just throw this on the students to just memorize, memorize, memorize. Okay. So inshallah, we have a better way to just retain it. Use that. Try to practice. Nothing will come without practice. You will have to spend time. Okay, you will have to spend time. Okay, so spend that time. Inshallah, this is ibadah. You're doing the learning of the language of the Quran. So once you're done with this, moving on to the next page of your notes, in page number 39, 40. So there is a very complex explanation of these endings and the beginnings and so on. I'll walk you through it. I don't particularly like to teach it through this page because I think students can find it very difficult. There's simply too many sets of rules there. Okay, so what it does is basically says, remember the present tense will start with these. As I said, it's Hamza, Noon, Ta, and Ya, Auntie. Okay. So it can take a fatha or it can take a dhamma. That's what we said, okay? So any of these two. So these are just tips for you to remember. So the way they are giving out these tips is like, hey, Hua can start with a ya or you. Huma can start with ya or you with ani ending. Then hum can start with ya or you with una ending. Hunna starts with ya and you with sukun and na, like yansurna. So you can, I mean, if this rule system works for you, of course, by all means, use it. But from my experience, I mean, if I explained it to you like this, you would find it much more trickier to actually understand what we're talking about. Okay, so this is a cheat sheet for you. If you ever forget, okay, this pronoun had this ending and this beginning, so this is where you come and find that out. Okay. So it's just a page for you to review. Okay. Now moving on page 41, this is exercises. Let's do a few of these exercises before we take our first break. First, I mean, we just take only one break. So okay. So let's do the exercise, inshallah. Okay. Now I need your help there. So we need to translate based on the given translation. Okay. So for example, it's tazakkaruna. Now you're looking at the tazakkaruna and you're trying to map it. Where does it belong in the present tense chart? Okay, so it has a ta beginning and it has una ending. Ta beginning and una ending. Where do you think, guys, it belongs in the present tense chart? Which pronoun is it inside it? Any thoughts? Let's use those brain juices a little bit. Try to recall.
أنتم.
It is anthum. Very good. It's anthum, right? Now that you know it's anthum and it means to remember, how would you translate this? Just the taskuruna
We
part.
all
No.
remember.
Yeah, so you're gonna say, you all remember. Because anthum is you all and remember is present tense. Very good. Okay. Now I'm gonna do, let's say, number 3. So tamutuna, it's tha beginning and una ending again. So it's gonna be the antum version again. And it says to live and to die. That's the indicative meaning that has been given. So you're going to say, you all live and die. You all live and die. That's what it means. Okay. Let's do number 4. What about number 4? Atawakka'u. It has which beginning and which ending, and where does it map in the chart? Let's try to find that out.
Is it أنا?
Ana, very good. It is Ana. Very good. And the indicative meaning is to lean. So it would translate to I lean. Okay. I lean. Very good. Let's try to find number 5, Takulu. Takulu. I'm after Takulu. Mm.
Could it
Which?
be
Mm.
أنت or here?
It could be anta or here. Yeah, we don't have the context, so we do not know, right? So it could either be you say, or it could be she says, right? Any of them. So because we don't have a context, we don't know. Very good. Very, very good. So number 14. Number 14. نفصل.
نحن.
نحن. Very good. So it would mean we explain. So I think you get the point, right? Very good. So just try to do this exercise on your own. It's pretty simple. If you understand the present tense charts, it's pretty straightforward, inshallah, and you'll do it pretty well. So in this particular one, you of course do the translations, but now you have attached pronouns with it. Attached pronoun, just like previously, the way we translate it in the past tense world, we separated the attached pronoun. We translated the fi'l first, then we translated the pronoun, and then we brought them together. Okay, that's the same process that applies here. Nothing changes there. Okay, it's the same process. So let's say we do this. Few of them, for example. The first one, ya'tiyaniha. Now, you looking at ya'tiyaniha. I hope you all see there are 2 words in this, right? So there's an attached pronoun ha, which comes from here, and then yatiyani is a ya beginning and ani ending. Ya beginning and ani ending, right? So which pronoun was ya beginning and ani ending? Ya beginning and ani ending. Homa masculine, right? So to commit would certainly become, so in my mind, I'm separating these 2 things. So I'm separating the ha and I'm separating the yatiyani, and I'm first translating the yatiyani. So it's they both commit, and then here is an attached pronoun of, sorry, ha is an attached pronoun of here, usually translates to her or it, and here it makes more sense that it is it. They both commit it. Okay, that's the process. That's the process. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do number 26. Zunani. Zunani looks very tricky, complex. Okay. Now you have to think slow and you have to identify how many words you're looking at here in this particular one. Okay. So you're looking at a ya in the end with a sukoon, which is quite a clear indicator that this is an attached form of ana. Okay, it's an attached pronoun of ana. And then you have ta beginning and una ending. Una ending. Ta beginning and una ending. So which present tense had ta beginning and una ending?
أنتم.
Antum. So so to zuna, if it means indicatively to harm, it becomes you all harm. Okay? And then you attach the meaning of ni to this. This ni is an attached form of ana, and it will translate to me. Okay? You all harm me. Okay? All right, good. So what I will do is I will give you guys a break now. In this break, I suggest um, take 15 minutes break. In this 15 minutes, please try to do some of these exercises, okay? So spend some time doing these exercises as well. Take 10 minutes, whatever, or 5 minutes, whatever time you want to spend. But I'm giving you this extended break because I want you to work on these exercises a little bit, okay? Just work on that in this break, however much time you want to spend. And let's meet at 15 past. Is that okay? Good? Very good. So let's meet at 15 past, inshallah. Okay? Then we take it from there. if you're back and if you have any questions on the exercise, please do let me know. So we will start inshallah in 3 minutes. All right, are we back? Everybody, give me thumbs up if you're back. 1, 2, 3. Sunana, you're back too. Okay, let's start inshallah. Okay, good. Right, so I hope you got a chance to do the exercise. Any questions on the exercise? Please ask. Okay. Now let's dive directly into the Quran. So I've just brought up the template surah that we're using, Surah Munafiqun, and let's apply what we have learned. Okay. So the more you should be able to see more now in this surah. Okay, because of all of these learnings that you have done. Okay, so let's apply that. So we started, I think we did the beginnings of this surah, but we'll go again from the beginning. So, Iza ja'aka, and now we're talking about ja'a. I want your help here. I'm trying to find what type of word ja'a is. What type of word ja'a is? Is it an ism? Is it a fi'l? If it is a fi'l, is it present tense or is it past tense? That's what I'm after. And I want your help. Thoughts?
Is past tense?
It is past tense. Okay, so what is the pronoun inside this one?
Huwa?
Huwa. Very good. And this is where you start to build your vocabulary. Okay, the best way to build your vocabulary is through the surahs. Okay, so then the words get to repeat it quite a lot in the Quran. So it's huwa ja'a, huma ja'a, hum ja'u, hiya ja'at, and so on. the past tense chart. So this little complex fail. So, but you should be able to do the first 5 without problems. Okay, so it's huwa ja'a. It means he came. Means he came. So means he came. Right? So he came. Now you had ja'aka. The ka was attached to it. Okay, so the ka was attached to it. So what you're doing is something like this. So because the ka was attached to it, let me just separate it like this. So we're saying he came, and now you're trying to translate this surah with your knowledge of fails and how the pronouns attach to the fails. So this is a scenario where you have found a past tense, which means he came, and then you have the attached pronoun, which is the attached pronoun of anta, which means you. So you would say he came you, but in English, it does not make sense because the word come in English always comes with a preposition to. So you would say he came to you. Okay, that's how you go about things. So it's not the Arabic problem, it's the English problem because you need to make sense in English. In Arabic, ja'aka makes complete sense. Okay? So iza ja'aka, so you know all of that stuff. Okay? So this is the attached pronoun in of anta. Al munafiquna, it's just an ism in rafa, and we'll learn more about how it is related to the ja'a in the topics to come, inshallah. And then qalu. Same question I have. What type of word is qalu? Ism, fi'l, harf. If it's a fi'l, what type of fi'l? And what pronoun is inside it?
It's a فعل in the past tense.
It's a past tense fi'l. Okay, cool. Very good. And pronoun?
Hum.
Hum. So because it's past tense hum, it would be they said. They said. Okay, so iza ja'aka, when he came to you, and I'm skipping al munafiquna, and then qalu, they said. Okay, nashhadu. What is going on with nashhadu? You should know this.
It's in the present. It's a فعل.
Present tense. Very good. It's a present tense fi'l. Which pronoun, Selena?
نحن.
Nahnu. And shahida yashhadu means to bear witness. To bear witness. So this is because it's nahnu, it's we bear witness. We bear witness. Okay? So we bear witness. Very good. Innaka la Rasulullahi. Innaka la Rasulullahi. This is from your ism world. You should be experts in that. So innaka harf of nasab, right? This is indeed you. And then there's the invisible is, there is for are. Rasulullahi is idafa, mudaf ilay, and lam is a lam of emphasis. Truly the messenger of Allah. Everyone with me on this? I hope I don't need to explain all of that, right? With me on this? Good. Yeah, cool. Innaka la Rasulullah. Okay. Wallahu is and Allah ya'lamu. Now, what's happening with ya'lamu? What is ya'lamu? Think.
Is it like a present future?
It is present tense. Yes, absolutely. And pronoun inside it?
هو.
Which one, sorry?
هو.
Huwa pronoun. Very good. It's like yansuru. Okay? It's ya'lamu. Okay? Huwa yansuru, like huwa ya'lamu. Now, when you look at huwa ya'lamu, you should be able to produce huwa ya'lamu, huma ya'lamani, hum ya'lamuna, hiya ta'lamu, huma ta'lamani, hunna ya'lamna. Anta ta'lamu, antuma ta'lamani, antum ta'lamuna, anti ta'lamina, antuma ta'lamani, antunna ta'lamna, ana a'lamu, nahnu na'lamu. That's your full 14 present tense chart. Okay. Any fi'l you find, you should be able to, inshallah, do that. So ya'lamu is he knows. And this is your vocabulary. Okay. Alima ya'lamu is ya'lamu is he knows. And Allah, he knows. Innaka la rasulullah. Innaka la rasuluhu. Now, same story with the ism world. Indeed, you are truly his messenger. This should be second nature to you, right? And Allah yashhadu. Yashhadu. Who can tell me yashhadu?
Is it present tense huwa?
Present tense huwa. He bears witness. Now look at this. Previously you had nashhadu, we bear witness. Now you have yashhadu, which is he bear witness. So you are actually in the same chart. It's the same present tense, but with a different pronoun. Yashhadu, yashhadani, yashhaduna, yashhadi, tashhadu, tashhadani, yashhadna, tashhadu, tashhadani, tashhaduna, tashhadina, tashhadani, tashhadna, ashhadu, nashhadu. Okay, so it's the same one, right? So that's your job during the next week. So open up this surah. Just stick to this surah for now. It's fine. Find these fi'ls. Try to produce 14 out of them. So whenever you find a present tense, produce 14 fi'ls out of them. That's your vocabulary. So once you know yashhadu, you know the next 13 as well. It's a phenomenal way of building your vocabulary. Okay, for somebody who does not know Arabic, yashhadu versus tashhaduna is a very different word. Right? He doesn't understand that word. But for you as a student of Arabic, knowing the entire structure of the fi'ls, you know that it's actually one word in different forms. So once you know the first one, you can produce the rest of the 13. Okay? So do this exercise. Okay? So with this. Innal munafiqina laqazibun. Now, I believe we did that in the class. So innal munafiqina is harf of nasb. Okay, so indeed, the hypocrites are, and then invisible is, therefore are, la kazibun. So kazibun is with the lam of emphasis. Truly liars. Innal munafiqina lakazibun. The only thing that we have missed is this word munafiqun on top. Okay, so although you know this as an ism, but you do not know the relationship of this word with the fi'l ja'a yet. That's why I've ignored it. It's okay. So basically, this he is basically the hypocrites, and we will learn that inshallah later on. Okay. So that's where it is used. Otherwise, almost everything in this surah so far, you know. So when the hypocrites, Isa is when, so I'll just put it when here. So when the hypocrites come to you, they said, we bear witness, indeed you are truly the messenger of Allah. Okay? And Allah, he knows, indeed you are truly his messenger. So why are you telling me? That's what Allah is saying. And Allah, He bears witness. He says, hypocrites, you would bear witness, I'll bear witness. Okay? Indeed, the hypocrites are truly liars. Okay? There's nothing here that you do not know. Okay? You know, it's just a matter of, inshallah, application. Okay? Right. اتخذوا. Now, does it sound like an ism, a present tense, or a past tense?
It's a فعل in the past tense.
It's a fail in the past tense. Very good. With the pronoun hum. Very good. So it means they took. They took. So the form, if you can take it to the hua form, you want to give it a shot? Anyone to take it to the hua form? You have ittakhazu. What could be the hua form?
اتخذ.
Ittakhaza. And then from there, ittakhaza, ittakhaza, ittakhazu. Ittakhazat, ittakhazata, ittakhazna. Ittakhazta, ittakhaztuma, ittakhaztum. Ittakhazti, ittakhaztuma, ittakhaztunna. Ittakhaztu, ittakhazna. Here's your 14-word vocabulary. Okay, he took, they both took, they took, you took, she took, blah, 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 and all of that. Okay? They took. Aymanahum junnatan. So, Aymanahum basically, let me just do them separately. Aymanahum is idafa. I think we did we do that? Yes, I believe so. Their oats. Their oats. They took their oats. Junnatan is an ism in nasb, and you would translate it with the word as shield. Okay? As shield. Okay? So you will know why this word is in nasb and why imana is in nasb once you understand sentence structures. Okay? So right now we're not there yet. So there's a sentence structure going on here that changes the status of an ism into nasb. Okay? So that's the future study. Okay? But what we are trying to practice is how everything is coming together. Ism, fi'ils, present tense, past tense, the fragments and everything coming together to give you the meaning in this surah, inshallah. Okay? Let's complete this up to this point. Okay? Let's complete this up to this point. Now, for saddu, how many words do you think these are for saddu? Two words. Two words. The fa is the connector, usually translates to so or then, and sometimes therefore, as a result, as a consequence. It also is translated like that. And saddu, what type of word is saddu? Present, past, ism, and what pronoun if it's a fail?
It's a past tense.
Past tense, good. And a pronoun inside is home. Very good. So we know pronoun is home, so it's certainly they. Sadda, 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 saddu, saddat, saddata, sadadna. That entire parson chart you can produce. It means they to block themselves and the others. Block themselves and the others. So they blocked themselves and others. And for fa, you would attach so or as a result. That's how you would do it. So or as a result, they block themselves and others. An sabilillah. An sabili is jar majroor, harf of jar. Sabilillahi is idafa. Okay, away from the path of Allah. Okay, so they block themselves and the others away from the path of Allah. Okay? Getting it, everyone? It's easier when you are listening and the teacher is doing. You will really know if you get it once you do it. Okay? So what my advice would be, just pick up the same surah up to this point, an sabilillah. Try to do it yourself. Okay? Try to do it yourself. Pick it up whenever you find the fail. Ignore this part, this hypocrite's part, because you've not done it yet. Right? So we'll inshallah do it next. Let's see if we do it in this class already or not. So try to do it. Once you do it, then you will really know that if you know it. So when you end up in a present tense fails like yashhadu, try to say out the full 14. Whichever fail you find, try to take it to huwa form, and then from huwa form all the way to the nahnu form, try to say it out. Okay, do it with ya'lamu, do it with yashhadu, do it with nashhadu, and all of them that you find. There are a few complex ones like the ja'a and qalu. You will get stuck on the hunna on this one because there's some abnormalities there. But for ittakhazu, for example, you can do it pretty well. So it's not a problem. Okay. So try to do it, inshallah. Okay. So I'll leave that with you. Inshallah, try to do it, inshallah, as much as you can. And I won't go through the entire surah. Maybe this surah could be, parts of it could be your project as a conclusion to this course. So I can identify what you can do, what you should leave, and then try to apply that knowledge to this surah, inshallah. Okay. So in the last 25 minutes, I want to touch upon another topic. And that topic is called outside doers. That's the topic. Okay. Now, what you have done so far, you have done Nasara, you have done Yansuru. Okay. So the Nasara means he helped, and Yansuru means he helps. In both cases, the doer is a pronoun. Okay. The doer is a pronoun. But in reality, this is not always the case. You might want to say, Muhammad helped, or Ali helps, right? So how do I make sure that this word Muhammad and Ali actually becomes the doer of a fi'l? Because pronoun is not always the fi'l. It's not always the doer of the action, right? So we will learn that construct now. That these doers are called the outside doers, because they don't live inside the fi'l. Inside the fi'l is just the pronoun. Okay, so they have to live outside the fi'l. That's why they are called outside doers. So the pronouns you can call inside doers. Okay, so they're inside of the pronoun. So that's what we will learn. So for finding something as an outside doer, there's just two basic principles. So the fi'l, number one, fi'l must be in huwa or hiya form. Only these two forms. The fi'l has to be in huwa or hiya form, regardless present tense or past tense. So for building an outside doer, these are the two forms fi'l needs to be in, any one of them. Okay. Any other form than this, you can't have an outside doer. That's the fundamental condition. Okay. So that's one thing. The second is the outside doer must be after the fi'l, and it must be rafa. Must be after and rafa. It cannot come before the fi'l, and it will always come after the fi'l. Okay. So let's build up some examples. So just so we're clear. Okay, so let's say you have nasara, which is a past tense. Okay, this is a huwa form of the past tense. If I just leave it like this is he helped. But if I want to say Muhammad helped, so what I want is to make sure the fi'l is in the huwa or hiya form, which it is. It's a huwa form. That's fine. And I have to put the word Muhammad after the fi'l and in a rafa status. Doesn't have to be immediately after. There can be long distance relationship, but it has to be after the fi'l. So what I'm going to say is Muhammadun. Nasara Muhammadun. Now that would mean Muhammad helped. Okay? Muhammad helped. Let's do another example. So let's say I want to say Muhammad, in fact, not Muhammad. Let's say Muslims help. Muslim men or Muslims helped. Muslim, let's say masculine, helped. Muslims helped. Now we're talking about the plural word Muslims. So the fi'l remains the same, nasara, and the word for Muslims in Arabic is coming from your Muslim chart. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna. That's the Rafa version. Okay, so we are saying this. Muslimuna. Nasara, Muslimuna. Now, there's a mismatch. So we're talking about a plural outside doer, and the fi'l is in huwa, which is singular, and that's fine. Okay, you don't have to say Nasaru Muslimuna. That's wrong. Okay, that would mean something else. Okay, so Nasara Muslimuna is perfectly fine. This means Muslims helped because the fi'l has to be in huwa or hiya form. Okay, it doesn't matter what is the number of the outside doer. It could be singular, it could be dual, it could be plural. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the fi'l has to be in huwa or hiya form. So if it was a feminine case, let's say Muslim, Muslims feminine helped. Okay. So in this particular case, you will not take the huwa form of nasara. You will take the feminine form of nasara, which is here. Okay, so the gender has to match. The gender has to match. Okay, so you're gonna say, you know that huwa nasara, hum nasaru, hiya nasarat. So you're gonna take nasarat, nasarat, and then Muslims in feminine is muslimatun, muslimatun. Nasarat muslimatun. Okay, nasarat muslimatun. So the important thing is that fi'l has to be huwa or hiya, gender must match, and the number can be different. I mean, number can be singular, pair, or plural in terms of the doers. Okay, let's do another example. I want to say Maryam and Ahmad helps. Maryam and Ahmad helps. Now, first of all, I need to know if it's a past tense or a present tense. So this sentence is a present tense sentence. The same rules apply to the present tense as well. Okay, so it has to be who or here. So I know it's Maryam and Ahmad. So now it's a mixed gender. So when you have only masculines, you use a masculine form of the fi'l. When you have only feminine as an outside doer, you use feminine form of the fi'l. When you have mixed gender, you use the masculine form of the fi'l. Okay, you would use masculine form of the fi'l. So it's going to be yansuru. Yansuru means he helps. Okay, he helps. Now, because we are talking about outside doer, we need to build two isms in Rafa, and we need to connect them with a connector. So it's going to be Maryam, Maryamu. Why not Maryamun? Because Maryam is a partly flexible ism. It will never be heavy. Okay, Maryamu, and then wa is and Ahmad. Ahmadu. I believe Ahmad is also partly flexible. Ahmadu. Okay. Yansuru Maryamu wa Ahmadu. Maryam and Ahmad helps. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay? Is that clear? Any confusions? Questions? It's easy. It's not difficult. It's a pretty simple, straightforward principle. Okay? So you know this from the Quran. إذا جاء إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. You know this, okay? So let's decode this a little bit. So إذا we know is when, okay? When. جاء is a huwa form of a fi'l. Now, whenever you are encountering a huwa or hiya version from this point on, you're not immediately concluding that this is huwa or hiya and that's it. You are always going a little bit ahead and trying to find if there is an ism in Rafa that can be its outside doer. You're always doing that, okay? Because with these two forms of the fi'ls, outside doer is possible. You don't want to ignore it, okay? So when you say ja'a, it's a huwa form, which is he came, Nasrullahi. And then you say, okay, because it's huwa, I'm going to go a little bit forward and see if there's any ism in Rafa. So you find Nasru. Find Nasru. Okay, Nasru is help. Okay, that's fine. It was Nasrun, Nasran, Nasrin. And it is made Nasru. It is made light. Why is it made light? It's made light because it's in a dafa relationship with the word Allah. So it's help of Allah. Because this Nasru is in Rafa and it is after and the fi'l is in huwa form, it is an outside doer. So you're going to say the help of Allah comes. Let me just keep it came and I'll change it later on to comes and I'll explain that to you why. Okay. When the help of Allah came. Okay, so this bit, so this came actually comes from Ja'a. Help of Allah comes from Nasrullahi. This one. As well. Okay. You go forward and you find wa. Now, wa is a connector. Now, because it's a connector, the chain keeps on going. You can't break this chain, so it's a wa, and then you'll find al-fathu, another ism in Rafa. You find another ism in Rafa. It's the same case as Yansuru, Maryamu, wa Ahmadu. Same case like this. And fathu means victory. Then you say, okay, so this has to be also part of the outside doer. So the help, when the help of Allah and the victory came, that becomes one big outside doer of Ja'a. Okay? One big outside doer of Ja'a. Are you with me so far? Thumbs up. Are you getting it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Very good. Very good. Now, there's one thing I don't know if I have told you before, but let me say that again. So iza is a ism. It's a special mudaf, meaning when. It's a special mudaf of time and place. It indicates time, when, right? So whenever iza comes with a past tense, whenever iza comes with the past tense, it pushes the meaning of the past tense in the present or the future. Okay, in the present or the future. Okay, that's why whenever you see iza and the past tense together, it will be translated as present tense or the future tense. So you would say when the help of Allah and the victory comes. Okay, so although in Arabic you would say it's a past tense and it says present tense, it's wrong. No, it's not wrong because it's translated in conjunction with the iza. Okay, iza jaa nasrullahi wal fath. That's the structure of this ayah. Now, there's one last one. Let's do that, inshallah. So similar one. Iza jaa, huh? Iza ja'aka. You just did that, not ja'i. Ja'aka al-munafiquna. Iza ja'aka al-munafiquna. This is the one that you did up here. This one. Iza ja'aka al-munafiquna. Okay, that's the one we're trying to do. Now you will understand the structure, right? So you have the same case here. You have when, and you have ja'a, which is in huwa form. So whenever you find a fi'l in huwa or hiya form, you're looking for what? An outside doer. It will not always be there, but it's likely that it's going to be there. Okay. So many times it will be there, many times it won't be there, right? So in this particular case, you go forward and you find the word al-munafiquna, which is ism in Rafa. So you're going to translate when, not when he came, you'll say when the hypocrites come. Why come? Because ja'a is translated in conjunction with iza. Okay. When the hypocrites come, and then you will come and translate this ka. Okay. And this ka is going to be you. And in English, it doesn't make sense. So you need to use the preposition to, say to. When the hypocrites come to you. Okay. Is it making sense? Too much? Too less? Or too overwhelming? Too easy? How's it going? How's it going 1? How's it going 2? How's it going 3? All right, okay. Because I don't hear you, so I don't know how's it going with you, right? Good. Okay, cool. So that's your overall concept of outside doer. In your notes, it's mentioned here, right? So there are a few examples there too. So outside versus inside doer. If the doer of the fi'l is pronoun, then it's an inside doer. If the doer is not a pronoun, it's an outside doer. Like kataba Muhammadun. Muhammad wrote versus katabtu. I wrote. Okay. Rules of outside doer. It must be after the fi'l. Doesn't have to be directly after. Can be long distance. Okay. It must be in rafa status. The fi'l should be in huwa or hiya form only. Okay. And here are some examples. Okay. Qala Muslimun. A Muslim said. Qala muslimani, two Muslims said. Qala muslimuna, Muslims said. Qalat muslimatun, a Muslim woman said. Qalat muslimatani, two Muslim women said. Qalat muslimatun, Muslims said, feminine. Okay, so you see the qalat remains the same, but the doer and the number changes. Muslimatun, muslimatani, muslimatun. Here as well, qala, and then you have muslimun, muslimani, and muslimuna, right? So there is a short exercise here. Try to do this. What you have to do is basically find if you have an outside doer or not, or what is the outside doer. So outside doer in Arabic is, in fact, the doer in Arabic is called fa'il. Fa'il. So every fi'il has a fa'il. Okay, every fi'il has a doer. Okay, so it could be inside or outside. So I'll give you one example, inshallah. So, and then leave that for you again. So let's say number 5. Qala Musa. Now you're looking at qala, which is a huwa or hiya form. And this gives you an indication, okay, this is a huwa or hiya form, and they could potentially be an outside doer. So you go forward and you find Musa. Now Musa is a non-flexible ism. It's not going to tell you if it is rafa, nasab, or jar. But because of the fact it's after the fi'il that is in huwa form, so if it could be, it is, that principle may apply. So you will label Musa as its outside doer. So qala Musa means Musa said. Okay. On the contrary, this number 6 and number 9 are good examples. So you have wallahu yuridu. Now yuridu is ya beginning and u ending, which is huwa. Yuridu, yuridani, yuriduna, and so on. Okay. So you have a fi'l in huwa form, and you have an ism which is rafa as well. But what is the problem? The problem is it's not after, it's before. So when it's before, it's not going to be the outside doer. Okay. So here the doer is inside. This is huwa. And the same example when flipped. Yuridullahu. Now you have the same fi'l in huwa, but then an outside doer, which is after and rafa. It's so Allah, the first one, number 6 means Allah, and Allah, He intends or He plans. Okay. Uh, so that's how you translate it. Allah, He plans. And the 9th one you would translate Allah plans. Okay, so there's a difference, right? So try to do this. Try to do this exercise. It will only help you. Okay, so try to do this, inshallah. And inshallah, in the next class, we will carry on our study. So in the next class, there are 1, 2, 3, roughly 3 topics to touch on. If we, my feeling is that we will be able to complete it in the next class. If not in the next class, the class after is definitely the last class, right? So most likely, I feel that the way you guys understand and you progress, inshallah, we should be able to conclude in the next class. If not, then there's just one more class after that, okay? So in the next class, I will also give you some guidance on how you can carry on, what you should consider, and of course, if you have anything to say in terms of feedback or anything that you have learned, you want to ask any questions, you can of course bring that in the next class, okay? All right. So any questions? All clear? Any questions 1? Any questions 2? Any questions 3? All right. So if there are no questions, then I wish you all the very best, inshallah, for the next week. Spend some time, firm these things up, and come in the next class, inshallah. We will conclude it together. And I would be really happy if you want to do a little tiny final project. and apply your learnings to a certain surah. I might also share that with you in the next class. It will help you a lot, loads to conclude things for yourselves. Okay, and I will give you some guidance on how you can carry on if you want to. All right. So until then, Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you next week.